In this video update, we're excited to share some exciting news straight from the IRS. It has been officially confirmed that those who qualify for Veterans Affairs VA benefits, Social Security Disability Insurance (SSDI), Supplemental Security Income (SSI), and Social Security Supplemental Security Income (SSI) will soon receive a much-needed boost. Stimulus checks totaling $2,000 are on their way. Let's break these stimulus checks down. They are intended to give financial support to recipients during difficult times, and they will begin to arrive in just 2 days. What this means for you, though, is that if you already get any of these benefits, you might be eligible for entitled to this extra help. Who qualifies? If you get benefits from the VA, Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, you probably qualify for these stimulus payments, which are intended to assist those who are struggling financially as a result of a variety of circumstances, such as the current state of the world economy or other financial difficulties. But how will these checks be distributed? The IRS will handle this, making sure the money goes to the people who need it the most. Don't worry, we'll give you all the information you need to make sure this process goes smoothly and painlessly. From eligibility requirements to realistic sum advice on what to anticipate, we've got you covered. Millions of Americans have experienced extreme economic suffering as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, including job losses, mounting medical expenses, and other financial constraints that have placed many households in a precarious condition. In response, the federal government has launched multiple rounds of stimulus packages, payments made in an effort to ease the situation and increase consumer spending. Sending $2,000 checks to people who receive VA benefits, Social Security Disability Insurance (SSDI), Supplemental Security Income (SSI), and Social Security Disability Insurance (SSI) is one of the most recent stimulus initiatives that has garnered popularity. Any significant policy recommendations? Conflicting information regarding whether this is truly happening, who would be eligible, and when the funds may arrive, has been flying about. As the epidemic continues to negatively impact the economy, the notion of giving Americans more direct payments has been raised by the precise $2,000 amount for Social Security SSI, SSDI, and V recipients appears to have originated from discussions among progressive Democrats in late May 2020. A group of Democratic senators, including Ron Wien, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and others, released a statement. This group included both Democrats and Republicans in Congress, urging the inclusion of $2,000 in emergency payments for handicapped veterans and Social Security recipients in the upcoming stimulus package. They argued that because of health concerns and sometimes fixed incomes, a number of disadvantaged populations, such as the elderly and disabled, have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19. While their statement helped bring this idea into the public eye, standard stimulus payments based on tax returns may have missed or provided insufficient support for these groups. At the time, however, the proposal did not constitute actual legislation or guarantee that it would be included in any economic relief bill. As of August 2023, Congress has authorized or signed into law $2,000 in stimulus payments designated for Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries. Democratic senators stated in May 2020 that this amount reflected their policy position and goal for the next stimulus package, not finalized. This proposal was extensively negotiated, revised, and pared down during the legislative process over the ensuing months, like many other aspects of economic relief bills. Ultimately, the bills passed by Congress in late 2020 and early 2021 included eligibility for SULU's checks more broadly for all Americans meeting certain. The proposal for $22,000 stimulus checks for these groups may have influenced some aspects, but there were no separate or larger payments authorized just for those receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, Virginia, or other federal benefits. Income thresholds, rather than tailored payments for specific federal beneficiary groups. Over the past few months in early 2023, some well-known politicians and advocacy groups have revived calls for $2,000 recurring stimulus payments to be included in future economic packages from Congress this year. However, the final bills that made it through Congress did not include that specific policy, has given rise to new rumors and conjecture regarding the possibility that such payments will occur soon. For instance, in January 2023, a group of 30 progressive Democrats in Congress publicly urged President Biden to include recurring 20 direct monthly payments in his administration's economic priorities, citing evidence to support their request. Level of aid could prevent over 6 million Americans from living in poverty. Similarly, advocacy organizations like the Economic Security Project have persisted in advocating for regular $2,000 payments to help people in need and boost the economy. However, in order to actually implement any new stimulus payments, both the House and Senate to negotiate, draft, and pass brand new legislation, which is far from certain given that Congress is divided. In recent years, significant new economic aid packages have faced political obstacles, and although President Biden has indicated that his administration is open to considering additional targeted stimulus measures, has not accepted the concept of regular $2,000 payments for any particular federal recipient category, such as the previously suggested $2,000 checks, make it difficult to determine the likelihood that these proposed $2,000 direct payments would pass Congress because of the constantly changing circumstances. Although some smaller, temporary payments cannot be completely ruled out, the majority of independent analysts believe that the likelihood of recurring $2,000 payments is currently relatively low given the changing economic conditions and Capitol Hill negotiations. Part of the challenge is the sheer cost of recurring $2,000 payments to every American are estimated to cost roughly $900 million annually. Given rising interest rates and inflation, political opposition to such extravagant stimulus packages may increase support for targeted, short-term payments to particular groups, such as Social Security recipients. But even that might be difficult, given the opposing sides' positions. Until real legislation with details on timing and amountsability makes its way through Congress, any new stimulus developments remain speculative, and estimating the odds will always be a guessing game due to the deluge of contradicting information. It can be very difficult to distinguish fact from fiction when it comes to prospective stimulus payments and other government assistance programs. I advise being extremely skeptical of any sites that state that recipients of Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA benefits will soon get $2,000 stimulus checks or other federal programs, as previously outlined. This does not correspond with the actual legislative situation. As of August 2023, no such targeted $2,000 payments had been approved. In all likelihood, additional stimulus will be approved only a few months from now, even if a compromise economic package is initiated. I would advise you to concentrate primarily on reliable government sources like the IRS, Social Security Administration, Treasury Department, and nonpartisan economic analysis groups for any concrete updates regarding new stimulus policies, as they are advancing in Congress, and the details may end up being quite different than this specific $2,000 payment amount. In the interim, make sure you're taking full advantage of any benefits in assistance programs you currently qualify for. These official channels can offer reliable guidance on any changes to federal aid programs, eligibility rules, and realistic timing of payments based on actual legislation, not rumor speculation or online misinformation. While we wait to see if additional economic relief measures make it through Congress, having control over your entire current benefits package through Social Security, SSI, SSDI, Virginia, or other agencies can provide some stability. The potential for $2,000 stimulus payments for beneficiaries is certainly an intriguing prospect, potential that might offer millions of Americans in need of assistance. But let's make sure to deal with the realities rather than being misled by inflated claims or online rumors. I'll be keeping a careful eye on these amazing sources and will tell you when any real money is accepted. And en route. Although the concept of $2,000 stimulus payments for Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA recipients makes for an attention-grabbing headline, the huge cost and political rifts in Congress make it unlikely that this particular proposal will be implemented anytime soon, build significant obstacles. Despite the admirable goals of wanting to help these disadvantaged people more, one scenario in which momentum for these $2,000 payments could pick up again is if the U.S. confirms a recession within the next year or two, with a protracted economic contraction that drives up unemployment, and financial difficulties might rekindle calls for forceful government intervention and direct cash aid, especially for people on fixed incomes, like Social Security recipients. However, the exact form and scope of any such relief plan would be the focus of intensive capital negotiations.